Hi, good morning. I'm back. I've been traveling up on Highway 1 up through Big Sur to Lake Tahoe. I had a wonderful trip with my family. Um, didn't move that much, just spent a lot of time in the car taking in the beautiful views. Now when I'm back though, it's 3 weeks out till I'm having my surgery, so it was a nice way to sort of to have that clear break and then come back knowing that I'm prepping for the fall for sure. So yesterday I started a 12-day cleanse. So today is my second day. So I do feel a little bit low on energy today, but we see where we take it. As always, we listen into our breaths. We check in to see where we are physically, emotionally, mentally, and just let the practice take us to that sweet spot where we need to be. Okay, so let's come into a comfortable seat, however that might look like for you. I personally like to start in Sukhasana and then start listening into your breath. Letting the breath ground you, starting to observe what goes on in your physical body. If you're holding tension anywhere, see if you can soften. And then start deepening the breath. If you're noticing the mind is taking off, bring it back to the rhythm of the inhale and exhale. Keep staying focused. Engage your pelvic floor for your Mula Bandha and then try to navel in towards your Uddiyana Bandha as you transition to the Ujjayi Pranayama. Sealing the lips, breathing in and out through the nose. Find a light contraction at the back of the throat. And take your hands to your heart, setting an intention for the practice for the day, for the week. Something that you can come back to check in, to reconnect with. Make your eyes open. Roll over onto your hands and knees, coming into all fours. Keep your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. And then rotate your tailbone up, drop the belly, widening through the collarbones. Lift your chin. Exhale, round your spine. Tailbone under, chin to chest. Inhale, look. Exhale, round. Breathe in and round. One more. Come into a neutral spine. Big toes together, knees wide, and then shift your hips to your heels and walk your hands. And try to get your torso between your thighs, opening into the shoulders, your armpits. And close your eyes. Breathe into the sensation. Walk your hands over towards the right side. Getting a good stretch into your left side body. Try to close the gap again with your left armpit. To really get that good stretch in the shoulder, the side, the hip. Using the breath to expand the rib cage. And back through center, walk your hands to the left. Same thing, try to close the gap with your right armpit. Inhale, come back through center, and then rise up to all fours. Tuck your toes and lift your hips for downward facing dog. And pedal your feet out. Movement. Stretching calves, Achilles, hamstrings. Again, pay attention. Notice what's going on in your body. See if you can use your breath to send it to those areas where it feels a little bit tight. Relax the shoulders. One more breath. Inhale, come forward to a high plank, shoulders over wrist, hips are neutral, heels are reaching back, look straight down. And we breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale or exhale, lift your hips back up, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, high plank. Breath to movement. Exhale, lift your hips. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. 2 more, following your breath. Last one. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Then stack your hip open, roll your ankle, moving into the knee, open, closing, and pressing evenly into both hands, and then roll your hip around. Extend your foot to the back of the mat, square your hips. Exhale, knee to the chest, come forward. Try to kiss your knee, lift your hips nice and high, squeeze your heel to the butt, and we stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee, right tricep, come forward. Hold it again, 5. Press the mat away from you, feel your obliques, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, lift and lengthen, 3-legged. Exhale, knee, left tricep, shift it forward for 5, 4, 3, 2,
and 1. Inhale, lift and lengthen, 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to the chest, step it through. Lower your left knee and the top of the foot down. Toe points forward, knees over the ankle, draw your right hip back. And from here, just come up onto the knee for a moment. Keep feeling how you're lifting through your bandhas, rolling your shoulder blades down, lift your chin. Take your hands down, exhale, shift back for half split. Extend your right knee, flex your foot, draw your hip back in space, belly in, lead with your heart, folding over the front leg for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come forward, tuck your toe, lift your knee. Inhale, rise up for high lunge. Ashtanga, still working onto that left hip flexor. Reach your arms up. Try to lift through your side, through the torso. Chin away a little bit deeper. 5. You can feel a little bit of pulsing here. 4. Getting deeper every exhale. 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, take your hands down, step it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Same thing, roll your ankle, your knee, and then eventually make circles with you. Keep breathing. Send your foot to the back of the mat. Exhale, knee to the chest, come forward. Again, round your upper back, heel to the butt, chin to the chest, and breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, lift and lengthen, 3-legged. Exhale, knee, left tricep. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, knee, right tricep. Cross it over for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, lift and lengthen, knee to the chest. Step your foot through between your hands, right knee, and the top of the foot comes down. And from here, you start lifting your chest, left hip back, opening up into the hip flexor. You hear your breath. Take your hands down, exhale, shift it back, half split. Flex your foot, hip draws back, and fold. Inhale, come forward, tuck your toe, lift your knee. Inhale, rise up, high lunge, Ashtanga. Heel is reaching back. Again, lift through your side bodies, relax your shoulders, chin from the chest, gaze up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, hand comes down. Step your right foot next to your left and fold forward. Keep your feet hip width apart, toes point forward. Drop the head down. And then nod your head, yes. Shake it out, no. Bend into the knees, slowly, gently start rolling up along your spine. Last thing that's going to come up is your head. Take the shoulders to the ears. Exhale, slide your shoulder blades down your back, palms facing forward. Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Palms together, gaze up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet to plank pose. You can take your knees down if you prefer. Lower down halfway to your chaturanga push-up. Inhale, press the mat away from you. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. 5 ujjayi breath. Come back to the intention. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, step your feet forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands by your side. Inhale, arm comes up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Another 5. 1. Really pay attention to the foundation again in this down dog. It's like coming home. 2. 3. Noticing where you can make space. 4. 5. Inhale, lift the heels, bend your knees, step your feet forward. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, hands by your side, Samastiti. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale, Chaturanga. Downward facing dog. 1. 2. Make sure you're grounded into the knuckles of your index finger. 4. 5. Inhale, lift the heels, bend your knees, step your feet forward. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, hands by your side. Surya Namaskara B. Big toes together and a little gap between your heels. Bend your knees, inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come down to your forearms. You can come down to your knees. Keep your hands or forearms parallel. Press into the forearms, heels reaching back, lifting out through the shoulders. Breathe for 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Return to your hands. Step your right foot between your hands. Spin your left heel down. Inhale, rise up, warrior. Draw your hip back. Gaze up. For 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Hand comes down. Step it back. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right heel down, left foot between your hands. Inhale, rise. Warrior one. Palms together, shift your legs. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your hands down, step it to chaturanga. Back to down dog, now stay here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, lift the heels, bend your knees, step your feet forward. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. Toes together, bend your knees, sit to chin. Come to standing Samastiti. We're going to take that one more time. Now, when we come back to from Chaturanga, you can come back down to those 5 breaths and down dog. Option to lift right foot up 5 breaths or come into pincha. And then from there, we're going to do warrior once again. Breath to movement, and then the same thing on the other side. All right, so find your breath again, your intention. Bend the knees, inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, Chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come down to your forearms. Option again, take your 5 breaths just like we did. Option 2, 1 foot up, or you take it to pincha. Then come return to your down dog. Back to the hands. Step your right foot between your hands. Inhale, rise up, warrior one, breath to movement. Exhale, step it back, Chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Left foot forward. Inhale, rise. Exhale, Chaturanga. Five breaths. Down dog. One more breath. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, step your feet forward. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, inhale, Utkatasana. Come to standing Samastiti. Right, one more time. So whatever variation you took, you either come to down dog or to the B variation, you take your 5 breaths. But if you lifted your right leg, you lift your left leg. If you're coming into pincha, make sure you use your opposite leading leg. All right, so bend your knees, inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arc. Exhale, Chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. So come back to your forearms. And then lift your left leg if you were doing it. Maybe pincha, leading with your left. And come down, back to your hands. Right foot between your hands. Inhale, rise. Exhale, Chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Left foot forward. Inhale, rise. Exhale, Chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Another 5. 2 more breaths. Inhale, lift your heels. Bend your knees, step your feet forward. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, Utkatasana. Come to standing. Namaste. Take your feet hip width apart. Padangustasana. Hands to the hips. Make sure you're grounding your feet, spreading the toes. And then feel how you're neutralizing your hips. So you're drawing this strength from the ground. Elbows back, lift your chin. Exhale, hinge. These fingers around your big toes. Inhale, draw length forward. Exhale, fold. Chin to the chest. Spreading action over the shoulder blades. We breathe for 5. Use your arms. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, slide your palms underneath your feet. Padahastasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Only breathe for 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Inhale, half lift. Let go of your hands. And then heel to your feet back together. Big toes touching. Bend your knees. Inhale, sit into Utkatasana. Exhale, hands to your heart. Left elbow outside your right knee. Try to get your left knee back. Keep your hands at heart. Sit down low. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, twist open, look over the shoulder. For 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Exhale, look down. Take your hands down, straightening your knees. Inhale, half lift. Step your left foot to the back of the mat, heel to arch alignment. Knees over the ankle. Inhale, rise up, warrior 2. Try to bring your left hip down. Sit down deep. Arm comes out. Hold your hands together. Steady gaze over the middle finger. Even close your gaze to your eyes. Bringing the gaze to the third eye. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Straightening out your front knee. Let your left hand slide down your thigh. And bring your right hand up and over. Really feel the stretch all the way from your hip bone out through your fingertips. Inhale, come all the way up and back into the front knee. Hand, forearm can come down, hand can come down to the floor. All right, try to get your right hip under you. Pull the right rib cage past the thigh. Bring your hand up and over. Steady gaze. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Take your hands down, frame the foot, step it back, chaturanga. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in through the nose. Open mouth, let it go. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, step your feet forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Big toes together, bend your knees. Inhale, sit to chair. Exhale, hands to your heart, right elbow outside your left knee. Draw your right knee back. Again, lengthening, torso forward. Spin your heart open, look over the left shoulder for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, look down. Take your hands to the mat, straightening your front knee. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, right foot steps back, heel to arch alignment. So slide your right foot in slightly. Knees over the ankle, the breath takes you up, wherever Virabhadrasana be. So you find the foundation, use the earth, the ground. So rooting down the energy, steady gaze. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straightening out your front knee. Right hand on your thigh, left arm up and over. Find that long stretch again from your hip bone, shoulder, to finger. If it looks too much to the neck, look down. Inhale, rise back up, either forearm onto the thigh or hand comes down. Utthita Parsva Konasana. Steady gaze again. Pull your shoulder back. Exhale, take your hands down, step into plank pose, chaturanga. Downward facing dog. And then transition to child's pose. Reconnect with your intention. Check in where you are, both physically and mentally. Making sure you're here onto the mat. If your mind is starting wandering off, come back to the breath. And then return to your down dog. Inhale, lift your heels and then make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, hands by your side. Samastiti. So you can stay facing the front of the mat. Keep your feet width apart. And then from here, we're going to shift our weight into the left foot. We're going to bring the right knee out. Right. You try to keep your hips neutral. So noticing if you want to be here with your booty, see if you can bring it under. Look at something steady. Slide your foot past the knee or below the knee. Then press the foot into the thigh if you can. Right. The knee moves to the right. Take your hands to your heart. Look at something steady. We're crossing that tree pose. Relax the shoulders down. hands to your heart, left hand to the hip, and then take your right hand to your right knee. So you may stay there, or maybe you take your peace fingers around your big toe, extending your foot out. Dropping the right hip, look still at something steady. Open the leg out towards the right. Shift your gaze if you can. You can bring your hand out. If you prefer, you can bring it up. Look forward and then bring your foot back. Let it go. Breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let it go. Take a moment. Maybe making circles with your left ankle. Moving the toes, especially if you were feeling you were cramping up. Then both feet are grounded. You're rooting down. You shift your weight to the right foot. Bring your knee out. Pay attention to the whole pelvic area. Keep feeling this lift. Take the foot in. Really feel how you're opening into the inner thigh. Two more. Take your hand to the hip, left knee, or hand to the left knee. So you can stay there with these fingers around your big toe. Extend your foot out. And breathe. Open to the left. Shift your gaze, hand out. Let it stay where it's at. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, let it go. And breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then take your foot down. Come back in to Samastiti. Step your left foot to the back of the mat. Heel to arch alignment. Open up your arms. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, hinge at your hip. Take your hand down to wherever you find your support. And try to get your torso over the front leg. Float your hand up, shoulder blade down the back, chin from the chest. 5. Feeling this nice length to the side. 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, look down, left hand to the hip, bend into the knee. Take your hand in front of your right foot and then launch yourself forward. Try to come into the same shape you were just in. Stacking the hip open, turn your toes slightly up and reach your left hand up. Ardha Chandrasana. Exhale, left hand comes down and step your left foot next to your right. And fold. Hands to the elbows. And you can sway from side to side. Noticing if your hamstrings are working really hard to keep the balance. You can stretch it out a little bit. Take your hands to the mat, slowly, gently start rolling up. Chin to the chest, you're super heavy. All the way up. Back in Samastiti. Right foot steps back. Heel to arch alignment. Open up your arms and then reach forward, hinge at your hip. Coming back into Utthita Trikonasana. Find a good support for that Bottom hand. Straightening your leg as much as you feel comfortable. Try to open up that right hip. Right shoulder blade down your back. Two more breaths. Look down, hands to the hip, and then move left hand in front of your left foot. And then try to come into the same shape you were just in, Ardha Chandrasana. Exhale, right hand down, right foot next to your left and fold. Again, hands to the elbows. See if you have any tension. Your hamstrings, your glutes again. Low back. Release your hands to the mat slowly, gently, and start rolling up. Back in Samastitihi. Inhale, reach your arms up and over, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet to plank pose, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward into a high plank. Take your right hand underneath your heart and roll over onto the right edge of your, or to you roll to the left, but on your right foot. Right, you can stay here, you can take your right foot down, you can come into Vakrasana tree, or grab your big toe, shift your gaze. Return to plank pose. Oof. And now roll over to tops of the feet, sink your hips down for upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank pose. Roll to the right, left hand under the heart. Whatever variation you took. 3, big toe. Return to your plank. Roll over the tops of the feet, sink your hips, come into upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, brings you all the way up. And again, you come into that neutral hip again. Feet are grounded. Bring your left knee to the chest. And then cross it over, stacking knees. So you can keep your toe down, or you can wrap it around. So getting a little bit into the hips here. Taking right hand over your left. Squeeze into the midline. And start maybe finding the hands moving away from the face. And then release, let it go. Bring your left knee to the chest. Exhale, step it to the long side of the mat. Both toes turns in. Open up your arms. Exhale, hands to your hips. Lift your chest. Exhale, hinge. Take your hands under your shoulders. Spread your toes. Lengthening. Exhale, drop the head down. Chin to the chest. Move your hands back in space. Press into the outer parts of your feet. Lift your kneecaps. Get your hands underneath your shoulders again. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, walk your hands to frame your right foot. Left knee comes down. Pigeon pose, so heel toe your foot to the left. Take your shin down so you can prop yourself up here if you prefer. You can come into figure four. You can come down. After sitting in a car, my hips are super tight. That's okay. That's the journey of life, right? Inhale, slowly, gently come up onto your forearms, bringing your left foot in front and over your right thigh. Take your left hand behind you. Inhale, right arm comes up, and then hold your elbow. Sit up tall, and exhale. Over the shoulder, draw length into the spine, press into the hip and the foot. Inhale, look forward. Now make your right shin parallel to the front, and just stack your knuckle, the left knuckle on top of your right knee. It's okay if you lift it. Maybe you can roll to the front side of the sit bones. You can stay here. You can start folding forward. Inhale, come all the way up, and then roll over onto your hands and knees. Into all fours. Keep your knees under your hips. Rotate your tailbone up so you're dropping your belly. And then walk your hands out in front of you for puppy pose. Look between your hands. And then walk your hands back. Tuck your toes, lift your hips and downward facing dog. Breath in. Open mouth, let it go. Inhale, lift your ears. Bend your knees, step your feet forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root rise. Exhale, hands to your heart. Again, you're finding the grounding into your feet. Shift the weight into your... Did I do the left or the right? I can't remember now. I think I did the left. So bring your right knee to the chest and then cross it over. Find your Garundasana, eagle legs. Noticing if you really want to stick up, see if you can bring it underneath and then left arm on top. 5 breaths. Squeeze in your legs and your arms together. And release, bring your knee into the chest and right foot steps back. Open up your arms, toes turns in, hips on neutral. Exhale, interlace your hands, shoulders to the ears. Pull the knuckles past the tailbone. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Chin to the chest. And breathe. Lower the hands under the shoulders. Inhale, half lift. Walk your hands to frame your left foot. Right knee comes down. And then bring your foot over towards the right. Your shin, your thigh, your sit bone comes down. Use yourself to prop yourself up. Coming into that sweet spot. Maybe you start coming forward. And you breathe. Noticing the difference. Always difference. Maybe there's a difference from yesterday. Maybe there's a difference in size. Slowly, gently start coming up. Hold on to your left hip. Right leg in front and then just step it over. Ardha Matsyendrasana. Take your right hand behind you. And then hook your elbow. Sit up tall. Twist, look over the shoulder. Inhale, look forward, and then take your left shin parallel to the front of the mat, right knuckle on top of the knee. Again, Agnisthambasana, flex your feet. Just try gently to energetically moving that right knee to the left foot. Again, you can sit here, you can walk your hands forward. Inhale, come all the way up, and then roll over onto your hands and knees. All right, so if you prefer, you can walk over to a wall. Just going to take a traditional headstand, so interlace your hands. And you're going to take, sometimes it helps if you hold on to your elbows, so you know where you're going to put, like how far your elbows are going to be away from one another. So you take your hands and you hold on to your elbows. Then from there, you interlace your hands. Right, the crown of the head comes down. You cradle the back of the head. You tuck your toes, lift your knees. You may stay here. You have a lot of weight into the forearms, so you can technically lift your head up. And then from here, you take your feet up. You can keep your toes down. Between 10 and 20 breaths. When you're ready, come into a child's pose. Come up and take a seat onto your heels and swing your legs around. Scoot yourself forward, and from here, just lie down onto your back. Keep your feet hip width apart, let your knees roll over towards the left, right. Take your left foot just outside your left hip. So try to get your knee pointing straight forward. So it's okay if it's up. You've got to stretch into the quad. And maybe the right foot on top. You can reach your hands up and over. Slide your right foot off your left thigh. Come back to center. Let your knees forward towards the left. Right foot just come outside your right hip. You can try to bring your right hip down. Maybe taking the foot on top. And slide your foot off. Bring your feet back to center. Hug your knees into the chest. Arms out wide. Knees over to the right to find twist. Shift your gaze. Come back to center. Knees over towards the left. And inhale, come back to center. Keep your knees wide. Hands to your feet. Sway from side to side. Bring your knees into the chest. Give yourself a good hug. Extend your feet out long. Arms at the long side of the body. And we finally arrived. Letting go of the breath. Letting go of the bandhas. Setting our mind free. If you're ready to come out, start deepening the breath. Stretch long, take your knees to the chest. Come up into your seat. Sit up tall. Close your eyes, come back to your intention.
your hands to your heart, chin to the chest. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me this morning. A little bit slower than usual. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time. Take care. Bye.